Hello. Welcome to Drake's story in Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous.
Hey, somebody! We got a wounded fighter. Can we get a healer over here?
My, look at this. Why would you drag a wounded fighter into the middle of the festival square? Couldn't he be carted off somewhere else, like, oh, I don't know, an infirmary? Or an accommodating ditch?
Make room, everyone. Step back. Now, what's the matter? What happened to him? Who looks nasty? Who did this to him?
Drake hears the stern words of an elderly man, but he's so weak he can't even turn his head to look in his direction.
Demons, Prelate. They found him barely alive outside the walls of Kenebres. Walls, you say? The enemy doesn't usually stray so close to the city. Must fortify the defenses. And you, hold fast. Don't die. You see right. We'll get you patched up now. But first, you there, guard. Take his weapons. Bearing arms is not permitted during the festival. Wounded or not, everyone must abide by the rules. He can get his things back after the festival. O Inheritor, leader of our troops, the sharpened edge of our blades and the unyielding strength of our armor, I beseech you, grant you a mercy. Heal his wounds.
The magic envelops Drake, but his pain lessens only slightly. Through gritted teeth he whispers, "I won't give up that easily."
Hear, hear. That's the Crusader spirit. My powers are not enough here. Someone call for Terendilem. You then. Yes, you. Stop dithering and gawping and make yourself useful. Go and get Terendilem.
Prelate, surely there is somebody else here better suited to running errands.
The lady raises her head in affectation of surprise.
I'll get her. Terendilem! Has anyone seen Terendilem?
Be quick about it before it's too late. Now, who are you? I don't remember seeing you before, and I have an excellent memory for faces.
The old man leans over Drake, who provides his name.
That's the first I've heard of that name. Who are you then? What's your business in the city?
My dear Prelate, please, for the sake of the festivities, stop interrogating this poor man. He has been through enough already. Go on, I'll take care of him.
All right, as you wish. Are our protector, and a dragon at that. So I shall defer to your wisdom. Be under guard. And inform that he's wounded near Kenebres. That means the demons are prowling just outside the walls. And the city is crawling with their spies. Others may be able to relax on this holiday, but not you or I. Not the defenders of this city.
Muttering discontentedly, the old man walks off.
Pry loose the grudging grip of pain. Cast off the veil of suffering flesh. Let light and life go forth in triumph to repel the skulking shade of death. There.
A beautiful silver-haired woman leans over Drake. She seems ageless, her face wholly unlined, but centuries-old sadness gleams in her eyes. Drake says, thank you for helping me.
I accept your thanks. My work is not yet done.
Drake asks, "Who are you?"
My name is Dorendalam. I'm the protector of the city.
Drake asks, "Are you really a dragon?"
You don't believe me? Perhaps I should retake my true form and engulf this square with my ice breath to win your trust. Pay no mind to my current guise. I appear this way when I walk among the people. I would have other festivities if I tried to attend in my true form.
Drake asks, "What happened to me?"
I do not know yet, and that troubles me. I am not entirely sure what moved into you. This wound is no ordinary injury, and it was inflicted by no ordinary weapon. I have rid you of your pain and restored your strength, but only time will allow you to heal fully.
Drake asks, "Can I go?"
Certainly, but be careful. I have managed to get you back on your feet, but I have not healed you fully. Alas, sooner or later, your pain will return. But do not be discouraged. You will recover, I promise you that. Tomorrow, come to the cathedral and say that you were infected by Dorendalam, protector of Kenebres, and we will find a way to help you. But for now, put this out of your mind and enjoy the festival. They are all too rare at this time of war, and merriment is one of the best medicines.
Alright. Let's look around and see what there is to do at this festival. Some sort of dart throwing thing, or... not really Drake's style. What about over here? Oh, it looks like there's a dummy to punch. Square up. That's how it's done. Fists o' Steel. Yeah, let's see what else there is to do here, eh? Is it... Ooh. A drink? I'll have a drink. I'm surprised I'm not having a drink right now. I love a drink, especially when the city's footing a bill. A free drink is never something to... What? Please, no. This escalated quickly.
Discari, Lord Locust, leave my city!
No!
Let the feast begin. Discard yourself. Hardly. One minute we had a dragon, the next, she was gone. Fight or flee. Flee at your man. Let me help you out. I've got a scroll here with a good protective spell.
The halfling's armor is splashed with blood, and he is armed to the teeth with a sword, a blade, and a hatchet on his belt, and a crossbow on his back. His voice sounds familiar to Drake, who mentions, "I've seen you somewhere before."
Yeah. You owe me your life. I'm the one who found you outside the walls and brought you inside to be healed. I see they patched you up. Good thing they did it before the attack. You're done for.
Drake says, "Care to lend me a weapon? I'll try to fight the demons."
Sure thing. Take this. This crossbow I've got. The person who made it said it could pierce the hide of a demon lord even.
The halfling holds out the crossbow.
Good luck. Try not to get eaten now.
The halfling's words are drowned out by a terrible rumbling and the rustling of countless tiny wings. Pierce the hide of a demon lord, huh? Well, I guess we're gonna try. Whoa, that was surprisingly effective.
Snaps its jaws at the Lord of Locusts.
Hey, oh. Uh-oh. What?
Thy soul.
Yeah.
The silver dragon, Terendelev, the defender of Kenebres, fell in battle. Hardly surprising, as she had to fight the demon lord Discari himself. He willed the land to part and swallow all who dared to stand in his way. But the war was still far from over.
What the? Anyone else hear that? Anyone else here? In this dank cave thing? Oh.
Holy mother of...
A small woman with messy brown hair winces in pain, uttering a stream of curses through clenched teeth. She is pinned to the ground by a couple of weighty boulders.
Hey, stay with me. You actually got pretty lucky. You fell down into a black hole. But at least you're not on your own. You've got a great companion. Everything's going to be just fine. Tell me something. Can you feel your legs?
The young woman in knight's armor studies the rocks intently, clearly trying to work out how to move them.
Feel them already? Wouldn't say no to a little worse feeling in them. The ankle's killing me, but my back seems to still be in one piece. My head, too.
That's all that matters. Now, we're going to... Hey! Fancy meeting you down here. You're the one that Terendelev healed today, right? You aren't injured, are you? Help me get her out from under the boulders.
Spotting you, the knight reaches for her sheathed weapon, but after scrutinizing Drake's face momentarily, she raises her hand in greeting. Drake says, "Hold on, we're going to try to get you out from under there," and attempts to lift the boulders. Summoning all his strength, Drake manages to lift the rock up enough to free the wounded woman from the rubble.
Damn it all. I think it's broken. Oh well, if that hurts, I'll just make myself a splint out of something. Thanks for the help. I wouldn't have lasted long on my own story there. I'm a nephew of Tirabade, the Watch. I was overseeing security in the festival square. I thought maybe spies or demon worshippers might have taken the Rusty plant. It actually happened though. Now that I did not see coming. I don't think
Drake simply says, "My name is Drake."
Good to meet you. Now, tell us all about yourself.
Whoa, girl. Slow down. Exchanging names is enough for now. We don't have time to be swapping life stories. We need to find a way out of here. Now then, I'll hobble my way out of here somehow. The city ain't far. Only 30 paces or so. That's if you're going straight up, of course. I'm afraid we're gonna have to go the long way around.
And Nevia tightly ties off the twine on her improvised splint and, leaning on a stick, hauls herself to her feet.
To summarize, there are 3 of us with 5 working legs, 3 pairs of decent hands, 2 clear heads, and 1 made of wood. That's mine. Underground monsters beware! Aneva, you stay behind us. You're in no fit state to fight. If we do come up against anything, the 2 of us will try to manage on our own first. Well, onward! May the good deities lead us back to the open sky soon.
Okay, well, now we're having a party. I don't like that formation. That's a bit better, but I could move her up to equal at least. Here we go. Look, Halrun put all the confiscated weapons in this chest. Take a look. Maybe your things survived the fall. Oh, this chest. Bunch of weapons and a cloak. I like cloaks. They make me look dramatic. Okay. Ooh, what's this shiny thing? Tarendulum scale. I will treasure it always. Poor dragon. The fine apparel of this young half-elf woman is torn and stained with blood, dust, and dirt. However, she holds herself with such dignity that Drake would be forgiven for thinking he was at a high society party and not in the dank catacombs under the city. Her fingers grip her rapier hilt with confidence, ready to draw it at a moment's notice. At her feet lies a dead body, so mutilated that at first it's hard to tell if it's animal or human.
Relax, friend. We're not demons or cultists. Don't poke my eye out with that thing, alright? We fell down here during the attack. That's Anevia, and this is our new friend. We're looking for a way back to the surface.
I'm so glad to hear it. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Camellia. I was also in the square room. I can scarcely believe it. How did all those things get into the city? I thought, how easy it now seems, that the Wardstone protected us from attack. Tarendula, I can't wrap my head around it.
The girl relaxes slightly, but she keeps her hand on her sheathed weapon. Her self-control falters for a moment, and Drake glimpses the fear beneath the mask of perfect placidity. She licks her lips nervously. Drake asks, "What happened to this poor man? Who is he?"
I don't know. He must have been in the square when disaster struck. I tried to revive him, but he was already dead, sadly.
He didn't get these wounds from the fall. Be on your guard. Whatever killed him likely hasn't gone far.
Sela's eyes warily scan the area.
Hang on. I think I know him. His name's Aravashil, the egghead from the library. He was a good lad, even if he was kind of stuck up. May his soul rest in peace.
Drake asks Camellia, "Do you want to join us?"
Certainly. Survivors should stick together. It's only sensible. Who knows what else could be prowling about in these caves?
Drake says, "We need to keep moving. There must be a way back to the surface somewhere around here."
That's right. It would be the height of foolishness to survive a demon attack and perish over a pile of rubble.
Let's see if this poor boy is anything useful on him. Not to sound like the heart
Loot, loot, loot. Yeah, it's a good spot for her. A masterwork dagger. Clearly a rich man. Oh. A giant centipede. I don't know how I can tell it's a young one, but... And Camellia takes a stab and misses. And the centipede does not manage to bite her. Sela charges at the young centipede and slices it in twain. Another young centipede approaches and misses. Drake advances to punch it and kicks it right dead. Another young centipede approaches. Camellia gets a good stabbing. Sela swings and misses. And Drake kicks it to death. More loot. Loot, loot, loot. Is that another... It's another scale. I'm surprised there aren't more of them down here, but... Oh, a giant fly. Drake approaches. Kicks it in the face. And Camellia walks over to stab and swings wide. As does the fly. Sela gets into position. And Drake kicks it to death. He seems to really like those roundhouses. Maybe they're roundhouses? At the very least, they're a spinning hook kick. Oh, we managed to catch this giant centipede off guard. Sela approaches. Camellia will... Oop. Why don't we... I want this down here. I always like having the option to charge with melee characters. So Camellia charges ahead. Nicks it. And Drake approaches. Alright. Sela walks over and kills it dead. Oh, there's another one. Alright, well, Camellia will walk over to that one. It tries to bite her, but can't get past her shield. Drake walks over to... Oh, it's a spitting giant centipede. Well, now that's just rude is what that is. Sela gets into position. And Camellia misses a stab. The centipede bites her. And Drake gets one good hit in. Sela swings and misses. And Camellia manages a good hearty stab. Let's see, more bodies. Looks like we got some potions. Bracer. You know, okay, Camellia. Okay, she's got a potion of cure light wounds. She's gonna need that. Her health is not looking great right now. That's better. Okay. Oh, another giant fly. Shoot, fly, don't bother us. A fly just bit Drake? Do flies have teeth? I don't know, but Drake's gonna punch it in its face. And Drake misses. Because screw him, I guess. Sela will swing and gets a good hit in. That's... But it's Inevia's crossbow that kills it. another spitting giant centipede, which Camellia murders in cold blood. Because that's not a huge steaming pile of foreshadowing. Whoop. Another beastie. What's this? A monitor lizard? Well, let's have Sela charge at this. And she swings and misses. The monitor lizard fails to bite her. Drake runs up and misses with a punch. Camellia gets into position. Sela swings her sword and gets a good hit in. As does the monitor lizard, which has bitten Sela unconscious. And Drake misses with two. Oh, Anevia manages to two sneak attacks. Anevia, MVP for the win. Okay. Sela doesn't have any potions equipped, and she's probably going to need both of these, given the result of that battle. Oh, there's one. Okay, now Sela's back to a better state. What's here?
No, I can't just walk away. It's got to be here somewhere.
Drake struggles to make out the man's features in the gloom. As soon as he steps into the circle of light, however, Drake realizes that he has never encountered a creature like this before. The stranger looks like the work of a vivisectionist who attempted to stitch together a lizard and a man. The man notices Drake and freezes. The curling horn protruding from his head casts a malevolent shadow on the cave wall.
Did you find it? Who is that?
The woman looks just as strange as her companion, like a cross between a cat and a spider. When she catches sight of Drake, she immediately drops into a fighting stance. Her movements reveal the lethal grace of a wild predator.
The do-gooder's here to save our mongrel souls, no doubt. Wait, they might know what's going on up there.
And stops her with a gesture. Drake tells them the demons are laying waste to Kenebres.
If things are as bad as you say, then we all have to hurry.
You didn't come from the direction of the shield maze. Damn it. I couldn't care less about what's happening on the surface, but the maze.
Wenduag looks Drake over, considering something.
I realize that you guys have your own troubles, but we need to be in Kenebres. People are dying up there. Please, show us the way out.
Drake asks, "Who are you? Tieflings?"
Tieflings are the descendants of people who sullied themselves by mating with demons. Our ancestors would never seek that alone. We are the underground crusaders, the children of the Crusade's finest.
Sadly, underground crusaders is a bit of a mouthful, so people usually just call us mongrels.
You just love repeating that, don't you, Lan? Almost. That's what the Uplanders call us. But we call ourselves others.
No matter what you call us, it's not gonna stop our horns, hooves, or tails from growing.
Drake asks, "What is this place?"
This is the hall where we remember the glory of our forebears. Sorry about the mess. It doesn't usually look like this. Just sometimes wipe the dust off things out.
Hello? This is. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Yeah, have a good one. Bye.
Drake asks, "What are you doing here?"
We're looking for a holy sword in the center, sticking out of a rock. The sooner we find it, the better. Some kids from our tribe took off for the shield maze. They figured it had collapsed, and now it's their time to go up to the surface, like all the legends foretold. Except they don't have a clue what's waiting for them up there. They're not fighters. And Saul, the chief of our tribe, is dead set against it. He says that now isn't the time for the underground crusaders to take up arms. If we get the holy sword, we might be able to change the chief's mind.
It's a fool's errand. None of us will be able to hold the sword, let alone use it to save anyone. It's not an ordinary weapon. It's made from righteous heavenly flame and will burn anyone who touches it. You think you're special, lad?
I'll pick it up with my teeth and tie it to my hand if I have to. It doesn't matter. An angel's sword and a troop of stalwart mongrels will be able to work a minor miracle. Speaking of which, you're still here, Windu, which means that deep down, you know it's possible.
Wenduag shrugs and turns away. Drake asks, "Maze? Does it really lead to the surface?"
Yes. There are other ways up, but they are far from here, and after the earthquakes, there's a good chance they've collapsed. Maze. There's a legend among our people living in the walls of the maze wall that will be a signal for us, the underground crusaders. And the time has come to go up to the surface and fight the demons in the final confrontation. Until then, the people say the maze is shielding us from taking rash actions. I'm the only one in our whole tribe to have been in the maze. Even I don't know if it's true. The further I went in the maze, the fresher the air became. That means that it really must go to the surface.
When the ceiling and walls started shaking, the young ones in our tribe lost their heads. They figured the maze was going to collapse, so it was time to go up to the surface. They grabbed whatever weapons were on hand and ran off toward the maze. They think the maze is no longer a danger to them. They've been listening to Wenwu too much.
Lan's eyes are filled with genuine concern.
Don't try to blame this
dangers. I warned them 100 times. But it was no use. My words just went in one ear and out the other.
Drake asks, a sword of holy flame? How did it wind up down here?
It came here with its owner. Long time. 50,000 gongs, to be precise.
70 years in Uplander time.
50,000 gongs ago, our forebears found a dead angel here, along with the bodies of his comrades. The tribe gave them a dignified burial. They were laid to rest with their weapons. The flaming angelic sword was strong. No one was able to pull it out. Burned to the touch, like real fire. So the rock was placed over the angel's grave. It should be here somewhere.
Maybe the angel will dig himself out and find the sword for us. That might be our best shot in this case.
Len, watch your tongue.
Drake says, we'll find the sword faster if we work together. I'll help you.
Thanks. An extra pair of eyes can only help. This sword will be easy enough to spot. It looks, swordy. Help us, and in return, we'll get you out.
Lan's expression brightens.
Now we're talking. Let's get to work. It's a good thing we all bumped into each other, isn't it?
What? You want to find the sword quickly so the underground monsters bring you back to the surface. So be it.
Wonder why it's a real piece of work. Alright, let's see what we can find. There's some edible moss and flame tongue. Ooh, what's this?
This one was beyond me.
A statue of an unknown knight. The technique is crude, but the figure was clearly crafted with genuine feeling. The room looks like an improvised museum, perhaps some kind of temple. Loot. Grinding stones. More loot. More grinding stones. What's here? Handfuls of gem. I like gems. Gems is shiny.
I found
More loot. Ooh, pearls.
Is that treasure?
what's that there?
Gems and a grinding stone. Found it, guys! A strange flash pierces the gloom, and Drake feels drops of searing blood run down his chest. The wound healed by Terendelev reopens and weeps scarlet, but there is no pain or weakness. A hazy scene appears, a cave chamber. This one? Or another one entirely. Drake's heartbeat quickens, and a stream of thoughts suddenly burst into his mind. Thoughts that clearly belong to another. Treachery! They betrayed me, trapped me, and stabbed me in the back. My trusted allies, my treasured friends, the people I swore to protect. The people for whom I descended from heaven and came to this turbulent mortal world. There they are, up ahead, in the gloom of the cave. What are they waiting for? Are they afraid to draw any closer? Do they believe I am about to die from their traitorous blows? Next to me, a quiet moan. A girl with a golden braid lies on the rocks, clutching her slashed side. She refused to join with the traitors, and paid dearly for it. I could have tried to run, but I will not. Whilst I have strength, I must... While recognizing the foreign origin of these thoughts, Drake intuits that he can control them somehow. Let's try to heal the wounded girl. A spark of healing magic illuminates the eerie, murky scene before Drake. The wounded girl opens her eyes and whispers, "Lariel, you said that everything was going to change soon. You said you and the other warriors of heaven would be leaving us on a grand mission to stop the demons forever. Is that true?" The frenzy of foreign thoughts comes faster and faster, like a rushing river, and images flash by one after another. A priestess in colorful robes, observing the stars. A young female paladin praying and clutching her golden sword. A majestic, golden-winged angel gazing into the distance, his face covered by a helmet, but his voice ringing clear. "Only if you're willing, and only if you're ready. There's no going back." "Then don't waste your strength healing me," the girl whispers. "Your mission is more important. You take care. It is near." There, in the vision, the darkness in the cave stirs into motion. Something massive appears within its depths. A vague shadow, an outline, a nightmare come to life. A wave of odious chirruping and rustling emanates from the shadow, the sound piercing like hot irons lancing through flesh and bone. The traitors fall to their knees before the shadow in reverent ecstasy, and the wounded girl thrashes in her death throes. The yawning chest wound burns white hot. Drake's head pounds with pain, and it is no longer clear whose pain it is. The person called Lariel who sent this vision, or the one unlucky to receive it. But Drake knows how to resist malign influence such as this, no matter its origin. Thought he did, and his knowledge fails him. The force of this terrifying attack, though originating in a vision, is much greater than anything Drake can withstand. Crippling fatigue drags him to the ground, hands trembling, cold piercing his skull, and slowly creeping along his spine. The one who sent the vision is experiencing something similar. He is broken and exhausted. A monstrous shadow emerges from the murk of the cave. It is not real. It exists only in the strange vision or memory, but the thrill of fear it provokes is more than real. The shadow's features starkly resemble those of Discari, the terrifying demon lord. In a movement as swift as the thought itself, the monster's hand is wrapped around the throat of the one they call Lariel.
The foolish angel struggling on the rocks, like a fly with its wings torn off,
intones the shadow. Its voice changes as it moves, shifting from a quiet whispering to a sonorous shout, becoming young and then old and quavering.
Where is your goddess, angel? Where is her self-assured herald? How is it that you are dying here alone, so far from the light of your heaven?
A strange calm envelops the thoughts of the one called Lariel. He recognizes who stands before him, and he knows he will never bow down before this enemy. The flaming sword flares to life in his hand, bright, pure, flickering with multicolored sparks like a sunbeam through stained glass. Slash! The blade slices through the demonic creature's flesh, and the monster recoils with a howl, releasing his grip on Lariel's throat. The angel falls back heavily on the rocks. His vitality is ebbing, but his pride remains undiminished. He grips the sword, and with his last burst of strength, plunges it into the rock. Drake senses that the vision is fading, the rush of thoughts diminishing like a river running dry. The last thing he hears is this: "You will kill me, monster. This I know. But one day, someone will come here and raise up my sword. They will raise it up and save and protect the innocent." The vision disappears, vanishing in a burst of colors. Drake does not hear the final words, but he seems to complete the thought, taking it to heart. The words fly from his lips, and with them, something else. The heat blazing in Drake's chest fades away. The edges of the scarlet wound close, leaving not even a scar behind. Looking down, Drake sees the flaming sword in his hand, or rather, its outline, the memory of what the sword looked like. With a final surge of warm and soothing light, the sword vanishes, and the light is drawn into his hand. Drake senses that it will return. All he need do is call it.
Hey, are you alright? You were kinda glowing just now.
Sela kneels before the light, offering up a prayer to Iomade.
That was it. The light of heaven. But how?
Lan looks at Drake, dumbfounded.
What did you do with it? Where did it go?
Drake says, I think I saw the memories of Lariel, the angel who died here.
That really was Lariel? The angel from the legends. The ancestors even got his name right on the gravestone. The chief will be thrilled.
You. Thousands of gongs and no one's been able to touch it. Now you, an ordinary creature of flesh and blood, no different to us, get the sword and start talking about visions.
Wenduag watches Drake with suspicion.
Now, Windwog, don't be a sore loser. He is clearly different from us. The sword appeared before him, along with the angel's name and all that other stuff. Because he doesn't carry our mongrel taint. Heaven doesn't give a damn how special we are. We're born with evil inside us. Heaven doesn't need to know any more than that. I know you're willing to tear anyone apart to uphold our people's honor, but you and Saul, you just refuse to face the truth. We are the way we are because our ancestors' bodies were corrupted by the abyss. It does the same thing to plants and animals. There's nothing heroic or special about it. It doesn't make us better, and it doesn't make us worthy.
Drake reveals the light of heaven. It seems I can control it. Now I'm just showing off.
Wow, I mean, that's amazing. Heaven has truly blessed you.
This power is the most majestic thing I've ever seen in all my life. Is this what the sun is like, Lan?
Wenduag stares at the divine light as if transfixed.
Yes, it's similar, but this light is more golden. Chief Saul needs to see this. Now that we have the power of angels on our side, he can't say no. He'll have to assemble a troop to storm the maze. You Uplanders care about your kids, right? Help us save ours. Without them, we won't survive. And then, the perils of the maze won't be so bad if we go together. We'll make our way through it and find the way to Kenebres.
Drake says, lead us to your chief, and I'll decide if I'm going to help you or not.
Let's go. We'll take the short route. Well, the only route, really.
What do we have here?
Oh, did I just find more loot? Is loot bear? Loot! Never leave a gem behind. And that will do it for Chapter 1 of Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, Drake's story. Join us again, hopefully by tomorrow, when Chapter 2 will hopefully be re-recorded and coming out. Thanks for joining us. Please do all the things. Subscribe, like, share with your friends. Spread the word. Take care.